Cryptocurrency holders, prepare for a crazy week. We got lots of big data points which could shake the market this week. I'll be diving into those stories, what's happening in the Bitcoin markets, what's happening in the altcoin markets if we get the time. Lots of stuff. So we're going to jump straight into this. Of course, hold your questions till the second half of the stream. Let's get it. So big week ahead. Lots of stuff going on. Inflation numbers coming in on Wednesday. And you better hold on to your butts, guys, because you want that to be going down again, or at least not going up. If we come in hot, aka we go from 3% to 3.1%, yikes, not good. And we've seen stuff like shipping prices for containers out of China. Prices have been spiking recently. Could that carry down to the end consumer? I don't know. We're going to find out. Hopefully, of course, it even comes in cooler than expected. I think it's currently expected around 3%. Yep. So expectations are for 3%. Previous is 3% as well. So the expectation is it's not going to change. If it comes in lower, markets will probably like that. Okay. Comes in higher, markets don't like it. Comes in expectation, probably a wash in terms of market impact. We also have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, NY Fed Manufacturing Index, all that stuff coming later this week. That's a good indication for what's been happening with, well, manufacturing, business demand, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we shall see. Jobless claims on Thursday. Lots of fun stuff to look forward to. Unfortunately, the market cares about all this stuff. All of this stuff affects the macro. Macro affects the crypto. You cannot have a super duper mega crypto bull market with macro being in the gutter, right? So we want macro to continue to improve, or at least not get much worse. And there's a lot of things out there, so many moving pieces. I was talking to my wife about this the other night. It's like, there's so many moving pieces out there. Now I have to know what's going on in Japan and the interest rate hikes in Japan and the carry trade and all this other stuff going on. Like, can't I just talk about Bitcoin, man? It makes my life so much easier. No, you gotta be into all of it, man. What's going on with the manufacturing? What's going on with the jobless claims? What's going on with the inflation numbers? Don't fade base, says warning, do not fade Miggles. Amen to that. I got a bag. Not a big cat fan, but anyway. If you want to see my full portfolio disclosures in the description, as always. But I do own some Miggles. It's a long bet. But man, if I can get a 10x on that bad boy at some point in the distant future, that'd be fantastic. Somebody's saying, I noticed gas prices have been way down. This is true. This is part of the stuff that's contributing to prices going down, right? The inflation going down, I mean. And so I was looking at the price of corn today. Somebody's sharing the price of corn on Twitter. And I was like, oh, that's down massively too. So again, this is going to be contributing to inflation being down. So these are all good things. Okay. A lot of good stuff going on. Hopefully that will, help the markets be a little more optimistic going towards our rate cuts. Remember, rate cuts with no recession, usually bullish. Rate cuts with recession, usually bearish. Okay. So somebody's saying, nuclear power plant just got bombed in Ukraine. It's true. The markets could be reacting a little bit to that right now. Again, definitely we're in a situation right now where markets keep reacting to bad news. They're very sensitive. Emotions are very fragile. Sentiment is still very much in a kind of scenario, I think, from what I'm seeing across general sentiment from people posting on social media, people posting in the comment section, stuff like that. So we got all that stuff coming on. This is all, again, these things are in of themselves neutral events, okay? The only question is, do they come in good or bad, right? Good inflation numbers, good for markets. Good jobs numbers, good for markets. Good manufacturing numbers, good for markets. Bad of all that, bad for markets, okay? Plus, you got crap like this. Israeli intelligence estimated Hezbollah and Iran will strike within the next few hours. Come on, guys. Can you stop blowing up the Middle East, man? My crypto bags. Come on. Ay. A lot of crazy stuff going on recently, of course, in the world. The Federal Reserve's Collins, this guy's come out and said, appropriate to begin easing soon if data is as expected. So again, if we see data as expected, not worse than expected, or if it's better than expected, the easing begins soon. So we could be nearing the end of the rate pain. Hopefully don't enter a new period of pain. Market's currently pricing in the most cuts since 2008. It will be very swift, the cuts. We're going to see probably interest rates go from the current 5.5 down to 3 or 3.5 by early next year. So it'll be pretty dramatic, I think, once they do start cutting. I don't imagine they're going to be able to take it too soft. Just 0.5, and then let's see what happens. It's probably going to have to be a 50 basis point cut in September. That's what the prediction markets are largely factoring in right now. This is interesting. Macro chart shared this. One of the most extreme oversold signals in history for the S&P 500. Crazy to see the deleveraging that happened last week around the Japanese yen carry trade unwinding. Absolute crazy stuff. Of course, last time we had this big of a crash, you can see where the price of the S&P 500 was. It always aligns with big fat dips in the markets. Very interesting to see late 22, for example, is probably a similar level. So that's interesting, right? Sort of a mid-market bottoming out. S&P 500 closed last week. Let's just move that up a little bit. Closed last week above the 100-day exponential moving average. Positive. We like to see that. That's good. Okay. However, currently, S&P 500 mini futures are trading slightly in the red, not by much, then on 0.2% or something like that. I think maybe the Ukraine stuff or the Iran stuff might be spooking markets a little bit, but whatever. Markets, man, everyone's so jittery these days. Been crazy, been absolutely crazy. That event last week with the Japanese carry trade unwinding as fast as it did was extreme. So if you've lived through this market event, it'll be one to tell your kids about, right? There's always these events that come up every few years in markets. There's always a bit of unpredictability in markets. Hey, real quick shout out to today's sponsor, iTrust Capital. So look, if you want to have a tax efficient way to be doing the crypto game, this might be something to look into. You don't have to move to Dubai either, guys. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You can actually have a tax efficient retirement account. That's an IRA, 401k, whatever your three number retirement plan is. And you can wrap your crypto trading in that. And you can trade your Dogecoin. You can trade your Ethereum and your Solana and your Bitcoin, whatever, as much as you want. 1,000 trades. No taxable events. Pretty cool, right? You can even do in-kind withdrawals in the future. If you want to take that Bitcoin and custody it in your own wallet, you can do physical gold and silver by their partnership with Kitco. iTrust is the biggest IRA provider in the crypto game. Most volume, most assets, most users, all that kind of stuff. If you want to learn more about what they're doing and also potentially get yourself a $100 sign-up bonus, link down below in the description. Thanks again to iTrust for sponsoring today's stream. So let us continue. Price of Bitcoin right now is a weekly chart. That chart last week, man. Look at that bad boy. That's crazy. That's a crazy chart. Look at this. Whoa. We did end slightly in the green on the week. That's good. That's a very positive thing, okay? However, that was a wild week. Got all the way down to $49,000, 48, upper 48 on some exchanges. Pretty crazy sell-off, dropping from 62 all the way down to 49. What a crazy time. Anyway, let's see what the next week has in store for us. We did see the price pumping back up to around this area here, but unfortunately getting a bit of rejection there. So you can see here we are now getting, let's throw the 50 and 100 EMAs on there. That's a 200. 50 and 100 EMAs kind of operating as a bit of price resistance currently here for the price of Bitcoin. But the story that everyone's going to be talking about right now is the death cross happening. The death cross. Which sounds terribly scary. I mean, they named it Death Cross. They could have named it Uncertain Times Cross. They could have named it, Watch Out. Oh, no, they named it Death Cross, didn't they? The opposite is not Life Cross, by the way. It's Golden Cross. We named it, I don't know. Anything else. Anyway, besides, the Death Cross has hit for the price of Bitcoin. This is when the 50-day simple moving average crosses under the 200-day simple moving average. That happened here, even after the big pump, right? So the question now, will it mean anything? Now, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about the death cross, and we've talked about death cross here many times before. End of cycle death crosses tend to have market importance because, well, it's the end of the cycle. The question you have to ask yourself right now, is this the end of the cycle? Is it all over? Some people are saying the bull market hasn't even begun. Right? This has all just been a fugazi last year, right? Of course, death cross, it's a lagging indicator anyway. Half the time, death crosses end up being bullish indicators because, again, it's lag indicator, doesn't give us great forward forecasting abilities here, right? Usually a death cross is 50-50. I would say it's about 50-50, right? Yeah. So there you go. Don't get too excited about the death cross. I might do a video breaking down that more in a bit detail and all the sort of historical incidences of death cross, but I'm telling you, it's close to like 50-50 that it's been, when you get a death cross happen, it's not actually that bearish, right? Often we see the price pump afterwards. Only question is this the end of the cycle or not? Guess we'll find out. Great chart here from Charles Edwards. So a rare reading on the Caprioli heater yesterday. So it's the Bitcoin heater, the relative heat in Bitcoin perpetuals, futures, and options weighted by open interest. Higher values suggest greed, bearish. Lower levels suggest fear, bullish. So you can see where we are right now, right down here at sort of the control line on the bottom. It's very, very interesting that the last times we had these readings, back here when the price of Bitcoin was about $25,000. Back here, of course, you can see these are all market lows as well. When the price of Bitcoin is around $20,000. Back here when the price of Bitcoin was $15,000, $16,000, whatever it was back then. So tending to coincide with lower points in the market, meaning tending to be more opportunity points in the market. Founder of CryptoQuant here, sharing most Bitcoin on-chain cycle indicators show that we're hovering near the borderline and have now shifted back into signaling a bull market. A bull market right here. You can see there, Bitcoin is discounted for only 3 days. Now, when you're basically on the borderline of an indicator like that, it's easy to swap back over and go back into a bearish moment in the markets. Marty Party sharing. Just remember, guys, MicroStrategy has not yet bought their $2 billion in Bitcoin. You can also add to that, FTX customers have not got back their $12.9 billion or whatever they're getting back from the FTX estate, paid in cash to crypto degens who are probably going to buy some coins. How much impact that makes in the market when they get that, I guess we're going to see, but still pretty interesting, right? Price of Bitcoin and crypto is deeply correlated with global liquidity. Of course, we talk about this all the time. Nice chart here from the guys Milk Road. If the money printer goes burr, crypto will feel it. The question is how quickly will it feel it? That's always the problem, isn't it? We can have a lot of dysfunction and crazy before we feel it, right? Price of Ethereum today, not doing all that much. Nothing too exciting to report there. But what's interesting, Joe McCann, founder of Go Asymmetric Fund, he says, interestingly, despite the market recent turbulence, several crypto funds continue to focus on fundamentals. I guess it was an interview with Joe or whatever, with strong bullish stance on Solana and DeFi sector. Joe McCann told me that his firm, managing 2 liquid funds with 9 figures and 8 figures in assets under management, respectively, remains invested in Bitcoin while being overweight in Solana. We have owned exactly 0 ETH all year and see absolutely no reason to own it going forward. Them's fighting words, man. Them's fighting words. What is up with my ETH bags? Come on, Ethereum. BlackRock's almost at $1 billion assets under management. Let's go. Come on. Let's see a price pump, baby. It's coming. It's coming, okay? Only question is when. Hey, I want to show this to you. This is not crypto, but man, I just thought it's so crazy. And look, as markets continue to move forward, I've been thinking recently about, the content we cover here on the channel and the content we cover in the newsletter. And we're revamping our website right now. It's going to be much cooler. New website for the Wealth Mastery newsletter would also be a site with a lot of information and stuff on it. So to start talking more about other stuff. I know crypto's the hot place to make money when it's the hot place to make money, guys. But I also want to talk about more of bigger wealth goals in life. How do you make, because look, I know when crypto's hot, there's all kinds of money to be made, but you have to build the sort of anti-fragility in your portfolio that allows you to make money in all kinds of market conditions. Look at this year. Look at what some of the AI stocks have done. Well, Bitcoin has sort of languished since March, right? So there's always opportunities out there for making money and doing stuff and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, talk more about some of that stuff in the future. But check this out. This blows my mind. This is within a year of each other. The first video, which is hilarious, Will Smith eating stuff, is from April 2023. And then this girl talking, this is just from this month. So look at the just absolutely huge differences here in quality that AI has now come into. This is absurd beyond belief, and it's only going to keep getting crazier. So anybody telling you like AI is going to go away, like where AI prices for stocks may be too high in the short term, sure. Will we return to a bit of sanity as we go through the phase of the market? Sure. But to try to really say that, oh, AI is going to go away and it's just going to go to zero, I do not believe that for a second. It's only going to get bigger with volatility. Coach K sharing the most recent rumor that, of course, people keep saying it. It's one of those funny little rumors that starts, ticking around social media that China is going to unban crypto. Russia has just made some sweeping crypto regulations, legalizing mining in the country and legalizing cryptocurrencies for international transactions. The question is going to be, will China follow suit? Be curious to see if they do. Hold on to your butts, man, because China is crazy for crypto. Be very interesting. This is the Bank of China liquidity injections, by the way, trending upwards. Milky Bull Crypto here sharing. This is interesting. At the TD sequential signals top for Bitcoin dominance. This further validates the macro bottom signs on the altcoin market cap. This signal rate is more than 88% accurate. That's very interesting. Will we finally get an altcoin rally, or is this just, it's not the Bitcoin's going to be more dominant, it's just everything's going to go down? Hopefully not. I was thinking about this scene in Rounders the other day. Rounders? Was it Rounders? Matt Damon movie where they're playing poker. Anyway, and John Malkovich here. Basically just like, I bet it all. Terrible Russian accent. But, shout out to John Malkovich for even trying. Sometimes you see those movies. I remember watching, was it Valkyrie with Tom Cruise, where they're all like SS agents and like everybody just like, top of the morning to you. Everybody's got like super British or super American accents. Radio. That's pretty funny. Anyway, we're getting off topic. But as this dude here says, we're going so much higher for so much longer. F your Q4, Q1 top calls. Cyclical sequence telegraphed to the point that most are fading it in disbelief. That's interesting. Kryptonite, don't splash the pot. I will splash the pot in my club whenever the F I want. Okay, anyway. Great movie scene, by the way. The end of that movie's great. It's an interesting idea. And look, I know I've been talking more about, well, are we going to see that sort of Q4, early Q1 market top? It's certainly an interesting theory, and it's one we've talked about more and more recently. I think it does have some legs to it based on broader macro conditions and the possibility for U.S. recession, all that kind of stuff. But what if? What if everybody's wrong? And the most, in a weird way, it almost feels like one of the more contrarian stances right now is to just think that we're going to have a regular 4-year cycle. How crazy would that be? Probably catch a lot of people off guard, to be honest. Hey, a few quick altcoin stories. Then we're going to get into your questions here, guys. Look at this. Even as most of the market experiences the usual summer slowness, Aerodrome has hit an all-time high in volume for 4 consecutive weeks. My Aerodrome bags, what's up? Love it. Love it. Great. SEC just folded on the XRP case. No appeal on the Ripple ruling. Good. Screw the SEC. You lost. Take it like a man. Take your L. Okay, move on. Great for the Bitcoin. Great for the XRP community. I celebrate your victory. I celebrate you guys, and I hope that if you are holding XRP, I don't hold XRP, but I hope that if you are holding XRP, okay, that this is your cycle, that you guys finally see some real price appreciation, because You know, I've never been the biggest XRP fan in the world, but the SEC was totally on the wrong side of everything here with this XRP case. And you guys, as XRP holders, got screwed big time by the SEC. You never got a new cycle high last cycle because you got screwed over by the damn SEC. Not fair. That sucks. Instead of protecting markets, the SEC is damaging markets and damaged your bag. So if you are an XRP person who's been holding for years, you guys deserve, man. You guys been through some shit, man. You need like a hug and I don't know, a beer or something and some new highs for your coin this cycle. Holy cow. This is huge news for the Helium network and of course for Solana. Check this out. This is massive and could, of course, bring some attention to some other DPIN stuff. My Natix bags would be great. I just have a very small bag of Natix currently. More over time, private round investor. I'll get more coins over time. I haven't sold any of those coins yet. So we're just holding those. I think there's going to be a great DPIN rally at some point. It'll be one that has great potential for rallying. Of course, that's in my portfolio disclosures if you want to see those. And obviously, investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. You also find a risk statement in my portfolio disclosures. Okay, take it seriously. As you guys probably find out in recent market conditions, shit gets crazy around here. Anyway, Helium. 2 large U.S. carriers have initiated tests to offload their traffic onto the Helium mobile network, and the results are lighting up the charts. Decentralized networks are here to support existing telecoms, and the big players are in. What? Nice. That's absolutely freaking awesome. Very, very cool. Tests are great. Let's see if big production starts happening. But this is really cool news for, I don't own any Helium, but that's great. Great for DPIN more broadly to see these kind of big partnerships happening. Okay. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. This is interesting too for all the people out there doubting that Polkadot's going to do anything at some point. Check this out. This is from John Linden, who's the CEO of Mythical Games. A great post. Mythos is the #1 gaming blockchain by wallets, transactions, and sales already, and continue to climb heavily over the next 12 months. The only chains bigger right now and all digital assets are Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, and Polygon. I think we could exceed all chains in roughly 12 months. Very, very, very interesting. Built on Polkadot, by the way. Check this out. This is AVAX. At this point, anyone who doesn't see AVAX as a top 3 gaming chain is simply wrong. We have Off the Grid, Play Testnet launched on console, first ever in Web3. It's coming to PlayStation 5 or Xbox. I think it's PlayStation 5. Maybe Xbox. Whatever. One of the major gaming consoles. Probably a couple of them. Very cool stuff. Lots of other great games coming up as well. Konami building their own Layer 1 powered by Avalanche. I mean, that's massive. Come on, guys. These are massive. Lots of big things happening. You know, it's very easy to sort of dismiss some of these things, right? But we're seeing big things starting to happen in the gaming space, and AVAX, the place where it's being built. Mr. Halazani says, dude, Mythical Games rug pulled its Blankos community. I have not kept up to date with that story, but that sucks to hear. So you have to update me on the details on that one later, man. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these early iterations of gaming things are going to not work out very well when it comes down to, hey, fill me in on the insider baseball on that later, JS. I'd be curious to hear the full details. Right, where are we up to? Sonic Labs. Phantom transferring over to Sonic. So the road to Sonic, powered by Galaxy Quest, is live. Collect Sonic shards by completing on-chain tasks each week and combine them all into an exclusive NFT, 1FT once you've got them all. Explore a variety of Opera apps. Prepare for the Sonic launch with us. So if you want to participate in that, by the way, I own Phantom, okay? But if you want to participate in that, well, go check out their Galaxy Quest. I know, Galaxy Quest. I know, I've done so many of them. Right? But hey, you know what the heck? Markets are kind of crap right now. Might as well go and earn some free coins, right? Worst that happens, you gotta go learn how to use new blockchain, learn how to use some applications, play around with some stuff. It's all good. Yep. Hey, and by the way, before we get into your questions, check out the newsletter. It's awesome. You'll love it. Our readers do. I'm sure you will too as well. We've got about 140,000 people a week reading this bad boy, covering all the latest in the cryptocurrency markets. Try to cover a lot here on the streams, but man, we go even deeper on the newsletter. So go check it out. Link in the description or the pinned comment over on X. It's free. It's free. You'll love it. Go check it out. So that's that. Oh, it's all the way over here. Got the value pack here, man. Okay. With so much volatility in the crypto market, I find comfort in the fact that Perrier bubbles always go up. Hilarious. Just cut. Yes. Somebody get Papa Powell off the beach and get him to cut some damn interest rates already, man. What is going on out here? Jerome. Shh, that guy. How was the Nikkei this evening? I think there's like some kind of bank holiday or something in Japan. Is that right? Oh, that's on the weekly charts. Let me have a look. Yeah, there's this. They are not open today, so I'm pretty sure the Japanese stock markets are closed today. We'll keep an eye on. I don't want to keep an eye on the Japanese damn stock markets, guys. Why do we have to do this? All I want is for magic internet money to go to the moon. Is that so much to ask for? Apparently it is. Late to the stream was the TLDR and the crazy week impending. Lots of big stories that could affect the market, basically. You have CPI data coming in. You have jobless claims coming in. You have manufacturing data coming in. Whatever the heck is going on in Iran and whatever right now. The Ukraine nuclear power plant thing, and lots of stories that could shake the market. Any one of those stories in themselves, not really a big deal. Too many of those stories coming in on the wrong side of things, markets start to get a bit jittery. Everyone's a bit fragile emotionally after last week, I think. So, yeah, let's just keep an eye on those things. Okay. Japan, where is Japan comment? Yeah, here we go. This one. Japan decided not to raise interest rates this year, possibly March next year. Yeah, so that's interesting, isn't it? If they do raise interest rates in March next year, I mean, hold on to your butts, right? That's more confluence for the idea that maybe March is going to be the market top. Maybe we get a pump, election pump. Maybe get Trump in. We'll see. It's looking like an edge and edge race right now, according to the polls, but can you trust the polls? I don't know. Anyway, let's say it's Trump just for sake of argument here. And then we get a Trump pump into the first months of his presidency. Bank of Japan raises interest rates. All hell breaks loose. We get a bear market next year. Don't know. Just throwing out ideas here. We'll see what happens. Lark, what are some sub $100 million market cap Solana ecosystem plays that you like? I don't spend that much time in the Solana ecosystem. I do and I don't. But I can give you two. It's 100% not financial advice, okay? Just things I'm invested in. One, I've already mentioned on the stream, which is Natix. So that is a decentralized physical infrastructure network for mapping. Drive around your car, put your mobile phone up, map, get paid in coins. Pretty cool idea, okay? And with other big deep in projects like Helium getting attention, maybe that starts getting some attention too. I don't know. Pretty damn small market cap right now, to be honest. Definitely high risk, high reward play. I'm a private sale investor. I'm going to hold my coins and see what happens. Another is Smoking Chicken Fish. I know. When Smoking Chicken Fish came out, I was like, what is this crap? But then I bathed in the broth, man. And the marbles were smooth. What are you going to do? Don't smoke, kids. Anyway. Look, those are both super high risk plays. And the more you go down to these lower market cap things, especially meme coins, just expect to lose all your money. So there you go. Lark, SMA Death Cross. Yes. EMA Death Cross. Not yet. Let's put that up. Let's put up the 50 and 200 here. This is true. It's an interesting point. Let's throw out the chart up here. Allison. So you guys can see here. Gosh, sorry. Too many colors on the chart. Too many things on the chart here. Let's just take off the EMAs real quick and I'll show it a little more simple here. And then So there you go. Look. So these are the simple moving averages, which are less responsive to recent price action. Okay. The exponential moving averages price in recent price action more. Okay. They're more responsive to it. So you can see with the simple moving averages, we have a death crosses come in. Okay. Take those off, put the EMAs on. I like the EMAs better anyway. Worth talking about the death cross, but I'm definitely much more of an EMA fan because they are more representative of what's been happening recently in the markets versus those sort of much broader timeframes and lagging indicator effects that you tend to get more strongly from the simple moving averages. And if you look at that, we're trending in the wrong direction on the 50-day EMA. You got to keep that real. But we have not had a death cross yet here. And we still have quite a bit of space running before that happens. Okay? So thanks for bringing that up. And this apparently also happened, by the way, in September, October 23. And of course, we then had a massive pump thereafter. So worth keeping in mind. With people getting $12 billion back from FTX, wouldn't that raise the total market cap by just $12 billion? No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. $1 injected into the market does not equal a $1 rise in market cap of the cryptocurrency markets. I think it was, I want to say Bank of America. They did a study that every $100 million raises the price of Bitcoin by 1% or something like that. So if this all went into Bitcoin, which is not going to, it's going to go into Solana and other stuff too. And we have big Solana unlocks, we have big Sui unlocks, lots of big unlocks coming up, more unlocks, more coins coming into the market than the market can possibly sustain right now at the lower levels, at all these sort of high, fully diluted value coins. And there's definitely not enough liquidity in the market to support all these chains and all these coins and all these things happening. It's a whole other story. But at the top, in particular, Bitcoin, Ethereum, say Solana, even though there's some big Solana unlocks coming up. I'm pretty sure I was reading something about that earlier. Anyway, $12 billion can move things quite a bit in the market. Okay. So just keep that in mind, especially if that $12 billion goes into not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just going into Bitcoin and Ethereum can have a pretty big impact. But if you move things down a little bit, it can really have a big impact. Remember, we're talking about like $5 billion coming into to Ethereum ETFs being a big bullish event. Come on, like 12 billion bucks going into altcoins, meme coins. Like we're talking about big moves here, huge amounts of cash going to come into the market. Maybe not all that goes in the market. Maybe only 2/3 or half of it does, but still. Lark, here's my question. Where do you think we're at? Just beginning of the bull, midpoint, or we're cooked? Where are we at in the funky hat chart? Do you believe we can top out soon? The idea that the bull run hasn't even begun yet is certainly an interesting idea. And I'm not really sure that I agree with it. I mean, what have you called the last year, right? I feel like we're more at a midpoint, some kind of midpoint in the market where how much longer it lasts is a highly debatable topic, right? Is it over? I don't think so. My opinion, I could be wrong, right? I'm prepared for the downside if I am, but I don't want to be. I want at least one last damn good rally. Come on, can we at least get up to a near $100,000? Come on, Bitcoin. But I don't think we're cooked. I don't think we're cooked yet. But things keep getting pretty dicey out there, right? So many economic indicators keep flashing that historically have signaled shit could hit the fan in the next 6 months or something like that. So if we get some big rally into November, December this year, like because of all that stuff happening, I'm going to take some pretty aggressive profits across the board, not fully exiting the markets or anything like that, but we're taking some money off the table. All right. Make sure everything's taken care of, make sure taxes are taken care of, make sure plenty of cash on the sidelines in case things get really bad, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then if, things keep getting better, great. Well, I just, can always re-enter the markets too. That's one thing people kind of forget sometimes. You take profits, doesn't mean you're never allowed to get back into your crypto coins again. No, you can always re-enter later. Sometimes you re-enter higher, sometimes you re-enter lower. It doesn't really matter. Total gains perspective. Are you managing your capital? Are you managing your risks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Because you know how volatile these markets are. These markets are so wild and they get so crazy so fast. It's a challenging time. It's been a challenging year in the markets. There's been lots of money to be made, but there's also just been lots of risk and crazy and sideways markets and vicious downturns and mega pumps. It's exhausting, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to like a nice 6-month holiday next bear market. That'll be great. I doubt an Iran attack will be good for Bitcoin, even though the narrative is this kind of chaos is good for Bitcoin. It's just that this kind of chaos isn't really good for risk markets overall, right? Lark, what if I told you Satoshi was Alan Greenspan? I wouldn't be shocked. Heard that theory before. Have heard that theory before. Henrik Zeberg, yeah, I've been reading some of his stuff. Be interesting to see if we get that sort of final rally before a big recession comes. It's such a weird thing, right? Is everything just going to be wrong, right? The Piper Sandler rules wrong, the Sam rules wrong, the uninverting of the yield curve is wrong. And like with the uninverting of the yield curve, we did a video over the weekend. I was like, Larker, fought the market. Like, man, you got to have some information here, guys. You got to know what's going on. And if we give both sides of the coin, is it going to be right? Is it going to be wrong? Let's find out. There's been major distortions in the markets because of central bank money printing. But when that yield curve uninverts, usually it signals, almost always, it signals that there's going to be a recession. And this is the longest yield curve inversion in history or since 1929. I can't remember, one of the two. But that doesn't mean the recession comes immediately. On average, we see 2 to 6 months between when the uninversion happens and when there's a recession kicking in. And it's worth paying attention to. I know it's been crazy. See all these things happening, yet positive GDP growth, jobs data is really not that bad in America, but there's a closing window for the Fed to be able to pull off this soft landing thing. And I'm not even sure they're going to do it necessarily. Look, recessions always come. Recessions are a normal part of the business cycle with central bank monetary madness. It's just what happens. The only question is when and how bad. Right? So what I'm banking on is that the when's going to be sometime early next year and that we're going to get a big rally between now and then. Fingers crossed. How bad? Who knows? But should always be prepared for uncertainty in the markets, right? Because things can get pretty crazy. You can lose your job, all that kind of stuff, all right? Randomness says, I just don't see this market going higher for another 12 months or so. So many indicators being ignored that the top is historically right around the corner. Definitely a lot of signals out there in the market right now. Question is all that wrong, right? The contrarian take would be that all that's wrong. The consensus take seems to be like, well, it's kind of, not looking great right now. Do one or two more here for the day, guys, and we'll finish up. Some say we've been in a recession since 2008. GDP is a fake metric because the Fed stimulates it to keep GDP above water regardless. Maybe worrying about a recession isn't the play. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's food for thought, right? The Middle East has been a mess for 1,000 years. Business as usual. Maybe markets might have this immediate like, oh no, there's a war. And then like a few days, they're like, oh, screw it. Let's all pump NVIDIA and pump Bitcoin and it'll be fine. Don't know. Could happen. 50% say recession, 50% say no recession. Yeah. It's crazy. As an investor trying to navigate these waters, and look, I'm an investor, guys. I've got a YouTube channel. We talk about stuff. It's a good time. At the end of the day, I'm just an investor too, right? I'm not, I don't have teams of researchers like the big banks and stuff do. And when you start to read the news headlines, nobody really knows what's going to happen. Oh, everybody's got guesses, but nobody really knows. Except maybe Tom Lee. Lark, you going to buy some Solana before the FOMO kicks in? Should get a Solana bag, man. I know. One of these days, maybe. Oh, I like this one. The 18-year macroeconomic cycle ends in 2 years. Then the big recession starts. Look it up. It worked for the 2008 recession as well. What's interesting, you guys, what the heck is that chart called? It's the one where they track like the prices of pork or something like that. It was made like 100 years ago by some farmer dude. Anyway, you guys let me know in the chat what the name of that thing is. But basically, that's showing as well. Yeah, 2026 is like GTFO for markets and run away, basically, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, maybe. Again, maybe it's just everybody keeps doom, and it just keeps not happening until the big one happens in 2026, and we get our standard 4-year cycle. You got to sell in November, December next year, or you face complete economic Armageddon. Perhaps. Regardless, next time we get a big run up, I'm definitely going to take a decent amount of money off the table just to have some more flexibility in my portfolio moving forward. Not taking all the money off the table, maybe 20% of the portfolio or something. So some people say, well, that's actually interesting, Eugene. Some economists say that mass migration to the USA has prevented recession. It's an economic stimulus. That's actually a pretty interesting thought. And that's kind of, I've heard some of the big economists, even people, the Fed saying, yeah, I know there's got this data, but look at all there's more jobs than before COVID. And we have all these immigrants coming in and getting jobs and stuff as well. And a lot of illegal immigrant jobs in America. It's actually pretty crazy how much the American economy uses these illegal immigrant laborers for picking strawberries or clean houses or whatever. Anyway, guys, we're going to finish up there for today. You guys are freaking awesome. Thanks so much for joining the stream today, and we'll be back tomorrow. See what the Japanese stock markets are doing, I guess. Till then, have a good one. Peace.